Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Long Sensation, and today we're going to offer you guys some more Call of Duty Black Ops 3 news and information. Now, in today's video, we're going to be covering the full patch notes for the Xbox One, PC, and PS4. These have just been released in the past couple of hours, and Activision have now provided us with the patch notes. In this video, I'm going to be covering the patches regarding the specialist and the weapons. If you guys want to see the full patch notes, there's going to be a link in the description below to the full patch notes so you guys can understand everything that has actually taken place. So first of all, for the specialists, a lot of the kind of camo challenges, the specialist challenges should I say, for the specialists have now been solved. For example, Outrider's Vision Pulse, there was a glitch where you wasn't being able to get double kills. That has now been resolved. And moving on to each individual specialist, Outrider has been slightly nerfed. Her Vision Pulse ability recharge speed has slightly been reduced. Nomad has had a few issues solved, such as the 9th helmet unlock requirements has now been changed. Rejack ability recharge speed has now been slightly increased, and the Hive trigger radius has been slightly reduced. So both a lot of nerfs there for Nomad, which is kind of disappointing. I think that he's one of the more uncommon specialists because his ability and his weapon are actually quite poor in my opinion. Reaper's Scythe has been reduced from its 200 magazine size to 160. Firebreak has also had a nerf with his Heatwave ability recharge speed also being slightly reduced. Moving on to weapons. Now, a lot of weapons have been changed, have been buffed and nerfed, and I'll get into the actual individual weapons in just a second. But first of all, general for all of the weapons across the board, the long shot distance settings updated for each weapon class. So depending on your weapon, the long shot distance will be either greater or smaller, which is something that I was looking forward to. Of course, doing all of the weapons diamond, there was a lot of issues with long shots, and I'm glad that this has been fixed. They've also fixed an issue where some damage from shotguns was getting reduced when the long barrel attachment was equipped. I don't know how that managed to get past the development stages, but there you go. They've also fixed launchers not earning weapon XP for destroying vehicles, and also quick draw ADS speed bonus for LMGs has slightly been reduced. Moving on to each individual weapon, starting off with the submachine guns, ADS time has been slightly increased to match other SMGs, and the hip fire spread has also been increased to match the other SMGs, so massive nerf there for the VMP. The Pharo, the close damage range has been slightly reduced, so that's a nerf for the Pharo, and the Razorback has been slightly buffed with a damage range increase, which is something that I was definitely looking forward to. The Razorback was a bit of a hit marker machine at longer ranges. Moving on to the assault rifles, the KN-44, they fixed the ADS view for the iron sights when a clan tag or kill counter is attached to the weapon. The XR2 has been slightly changed, the hip fire spread has been increased to match the other assault rifles, and a minor tweak to the fire rate. I'm not sure if that is a nerf or a buff for the XR2. Moving on to the HVK30, increased ability to control the recoil, which is a pretty nice buff for the HVK. I didn't really enjoy it, but now I'm definitely going to be sticking it on again and seeing if this has been improved. Moving on to the ICR, they fixed an animation issue where the weapon had the Varix free optic and suppressor attachment. Not really sure what that's about. The M8A7, the fire rate has been increased, and they've also fixed an issue with the iron sights when the kill counter was attached, just like the XR2. So the M8A7 has actually received a buff, I believe, which is pretty interesting because, you know, the M8A7 is probably one of the more favourable assault rifles from players at the moment. Now, moving on to the shotguns, the KRM has increased lethal range, so that's going to be slightly better now. Haymaker 12, the fire rate and damage range slightly reduced, so that's a nerf for the Haymaker 12. The Argus, the ADS time increased, as well as the close range damage increased. So a buff for a nerf and a buff for the Argus, which is fine by me. I didn't really have a problem with it before. I think that's a nice little balance for the Argus. Moving on to LMGs, the BRM, the ADS speed has been slightly reduced. The Dingo, the increased ability to control recoil, which I completely agree with. The Dingo was kind of bouncing up everywhere, left, right and centre. Moving on to the Gorgon now, this has definitely been the biggest nerf within the game so far. The clip size has been reduced from 50 to 40, the ADS time has also been slowed down. It no longer deals extra damage to vehicles without FMJ, it's also received increased recoil and also increased hipfire spread, so definitely a really needed nerf for the Gorgon. I definitely agree with that one, well done to the developers for realising that. Moving on to the 48 Dredge, the fixed magazine count on extended mags. This was previously ending on 1 bullet, then playing with a 6 round burst audio when the bullet was fired. I never really noticed that, so that's pretty interesting. They've also slightly increased the ADS time, so overall I would say that's a nerf for the Dredge as well. Moving on to pistols, the LK9 close damage range has slightly been reduced, so nerf for the LK9, and I'll finally finish it off with the equipment. The thermite grenade has received a pretty big nerf, and that is that the damage rate has been reduced, which means it'll now take longer to be killed by a thermite grenade. So that is going to be pretty much it regarding all of the weapons and specialists within the game. If you guys want to see the full patch notes, the link will be in the description below, but that is going to be pretty much it from me. I've been Long Sensation, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.